Our purpose is to build a holistic voice that creates a community of like-minded, healthy people for a healthier planet. Our goal is to unify the community, nourishing the growth in mind, body, spirit, awareness, and wellness. We want to engage our community and visitors so they have access to powerful momentum of the holistic presence in our community. We do this by creating awareness through interviews, providing education and awareness of cutting-edge modalities. We also provide access for consumers to quality natural health and wellness professional and practitioners and like-minded business that support this community. Thank you for listening with us on Healthy Planet One. Stay with us for the next interview with our next holistic guest.
And welcome to Healthy Planet Radio. We are so excited to have part 2 on thermography, which is the start of your journey of health discovery with Kristin Burton. Kristin, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Great. And we want to really continue to explore this world of medical thermography. What does it mean? And I love the fact that you're talking about health discovery, because I think we're always looking for what's wrong. Where am I sick? What's wrong with me? Oh no. When in fact our mindset has a lot to do with us being healthy or not, right?
Absolutely. You bet. You know, you kind of are what you eat and you are what you feel you are. And health discovery is such a progressive approach for people who value the process of monitoring their health and making lifestyle changes to achieve optimal wellness. And we believe that medical thermography is a great vehicle for that message and that process of health discovery.
Well, and I love working with you because you are so passionate about educating people and letting them know that there are alternatives. We've spent our first part of our interview is about particularly about breast health. But there are other ways in which you use thermography. Give us a little bit of background of where thermography started. Were they looking for pain or something like that? What happened there?
Yeah, thermography really kind of made its debut back in the 70s and 80s, even before that, as they were looking for the ways that people experience pain and how that looked thermographically. And oftentimes thermography is imaging what we call the sympathetic nervous system. And there are some diseases in the complex regional pain syndrome area that thermography can really see this condition. Okay, so let me tell you what it looks like. When we're looking at it through a thermography camera, the affected limb or area of the body literally disappears to our camera. And that is almost unheard of. You just can't believe that it's happening, that you can't see it. And it's a specific nervous system indication that somebody has a very serious disease. And the reason why it was so valued and still continues to this day to be valued is because it's admissible in court. And oftentimes when someone has had an accident, they have a disease called reflex sympathetic dystrophy. I'm actually one of the only thermographers in the state that can image for it. But this is where it starts.
We actually had one in our office, RSC, right? And it was amazing. That whole limb disappeared. You couldn't even see it.
Every time I see it, I still don't believe it. And I've done dozens of these imagings. But yes, and that's where they started, back there. And then when mammography came out, and in the 80s, 1982, I think specifically, thermography tried to get in there to be part of that detection process of mammogram, ultrasound. Thermography wanted to be in there. But at the time, thermography couldn't be as precise as they needed it to be, apparently, because that was what we were told. And so thermography had to go out kind of on the fringes. But it has worked its way back in, and now in 2019, thermography is very much a part of many women's breast health routine. And we're very proud to be a part of that and help women achieve optimal wellness, not only for the rest of their bodies, but for their breasts as well.
Well, and you have visited various doctor boards where they've brought you in and they've been blown away by what you've had to share.
Yeah, every time they're skeptical, if I can get them to listen to me, and that's difficult, but if I can get them to listen to me for even 10 minutes, they are turned around so fast. I can show them images, I can talk to them, and all of a sudden the light bulb, you can see the light bulb go on. And oftentimes they come to my training room when I'm training thermographers, and they're like, well, I think I want to get involved in this business, but I don't know. You got to convince me. And it takes about 15 minutes for them to be convinced. But I'll tell you, getting that 15 minutes with a regular Western trained medical doctor can be difficult. It really can.
So give us an example of how you've shown it as a health discovery and what difference it's made for a Western doctor.
Well, so a Western doctor who's thinking about being a little bit more functional or integrative, they decide that they're going to take some classes. They decide they want to bring in some other modalities into a traditional practice. So the first thing they do is they go out and they get vitamins, and they go out and they get a few different things. They bring in a chiropractor, and somehow thermography gets mentioned. And so they come to us. We sell the cameras as well, and we train the thermographers. So they come to us and they say, like I said, convince me. And so what we do is we show them how the breasts look in the infrared. We show them how a thyroid looks. We show them how a gut looks, like leaky gut and celiac disease. And we show them that we can see it, that there's a pattern associated with it. And
what about heart and lungs?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Yes. There's
liver.
patterns. Yes. So we look at dental. We look at injury. We look at the spine. Chiropractors love us. We look at the stomach, liver, pancreas, spleen, intestines. We look at injury and changes in blood flow in the legs and the feet and the hands. For every place there is on the body, we have got a pattern that we can look at, that we can detect, that we can help people understand what may be going on long before sometimes a traditional medical test can find it. You see, a traditional medical test is looking for a very, like far into the diagnosis, something diagnosable, okay?
Like it's been there for a long time, and therefore now we can see it, right?
Right. They're looking for blood tests to say, let's take the thyroid for an example, because we do a lot of thyroid work. And so a woman comes and usually a female, comes and complains that she's tired, she's gaining weight, she's foggy thinking, and they will sometimes just run one test, the TSH. And when they run that, it comes back normal, and they say, well, you're fine, get some more rest, settle down, de-stress, and this woman walk out pulling their hair. What's left of it, out.
Right.
And what we see is they'll come to us and we'll look at the thyroid, and we'll see heat at the thyroid, which means the thyroid is barely keeping up. It's struggling. And sometimes if they go to a integrative physician with that, the integrative physician will say, well, let's run a whole panel of thyroid tests. And then sometimes we find something, but sometimes those are borderline normal. So we can see it so early in the thyroid, not a diagnosable disease, but something where they can make changes of diet, exercise, supplementation, lifestyle. And when they do that, the thyroid starts to cool off and they start to feel better. And we show them how their thyroid is getting back to normal, and their doctor, because the doctor wants to watch it change, and they want to know that their patient is on the right track. And thermographers can show them.
That's the key, is being able to show them this is the direction it's going, and you can change that. That is what is so empowering for people. I love that.
Catch it early enough, and I'm not saying the disease, I'm just saying the inflammation and the struggle. Catch that early enough, and the easier it is to make changes, and the more joyful the changes are. Which would you rather do? Change your diet and exercise regime, or would you like to have invasive tests, surgery, chemotherapy, all kinds
Or in the example, I'll never forget this, when one of the people that was listening to your talk, she ran home, got her daughter and her grandson, who had been to 4 different doctors. Nobody knew what was wrong. This 6-year-old had all this pain, and nobody knew what was wrong. And one doctor was about ready to put him on prednisone, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember it clearly.
And she brought him in, and what did you find?
Well, our interpreting physicians found that he had extensive mottling on the abdomen, and that indicated significant food allergy and digestive issues. And so
And all we did was change their diet. And how long did it take for that to clear?
I think he came back to us to be re-imaged in just a short time, under 2 months, and he was feeling better. And all of that mottling, those polka dots that we see on the belly that center around, like a food allergy or sensitivity, those were fading. The child was feeling better, and hooray, we made a difference, and we kept a child off prednisone, which was.
We checked, and also to tell you what I know about him is that he actually, because they did radically change the diet, took him off all the sweets and all the stuff that was causing it, and next thing you knew, in a week he was out of pain. And then it was really interesting to see that mottling you talked about, how that gradually disappeared and the direction that it disappeared in. That was really interesting.
And that's what doctors look for, our integrative and functional doctors who partner with us in thermography. They're using it to watch these patterns change. Sometimes the patterns don't change, but that's just as beneficial, because then the doctor knows to pivot to plan B, because plan A isn't working yet. So that's important too. And it also, when a patient can see that their thermal patterns are changing, they may not feel the change yet. And so they may not, feel confident that they might be spending money on some kind of holistic program. And they're saying, is this even working for me? We can help them understand if it is working. And if it isn't, then again, that doctor can pivot to a new program, and we can keep that patient engaged and working towards the outcome, which is optimal wellness.
So how can the average person use this health discovery to improve their life? Just as a general statement.
Absolutely. Well, we recommend that somebody come in for either women's or men's health screening or full body. That way we can look at the organs, we can look all throughout the body and see where that inflammation is, see where your weak spots are and where your body is struggling. So what you do is we image you. It's a very simple process. Nothing touches you. There's no, it's painless. It's safe. And you're just literally sitting in front of our infrared camera. And it's private. We have a screen, so super easy. And then we image you, and we send your images off to a medical doctor who's specially trained to interpret these images. And you and your doctor will get a report back. And you use that report. And it'll say, let's say, for instance, it says that there is a pattern over the liver. So you and your doctor may want to do more tests. You may want to do a liver cleanse. You may want to change your diet. And then they're going to come back, say, 3 months later, after they've been working on their health challenge and on that inflammation. They may not even feel it, but let's get rid of it before you feel it. Don't wait all the way until a symptom pops up, right? And then they come back and we can show them how it's changed. And that is so powerful. They're oftentimes feeling better and confident. And again, they feel empowered. They feel like they did something that really made a difference long term.
That's really great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they do find something, how do they talk to their doctor about the thermography and what they've found?
If they have an integrative or functional doctor, it's pretty easy. Because our doctors who interpret are medical doctors, but they're also functional and holistic doctors. And so it's doctor to doctor, report to your doctor. But if you've got a regular Western trained doctor who does not feel that functional or integrative medicine is something that they want to do, then it can be a little bit trickier. It might be a good idea to get a wellness coach or somebody that could actually sort of advise you on how to talk to your doctor and what do you ask? Like, hi, doctor, I see that there's something going on with my liver based on a test that I just had called Medical Thermography. Now, I don't have any problems there, and blood tests came back normal, but I'm going to do a liver cleanse. Is there something, is there anything you want to talk about with that? I'd like to have my liver examined. I'd like to have a blood test to see if I have liver enzymes that are elevated. And you can also just say that this is a non-invasive test. It's not diagnosing, and it's just helping me sort of find the areas of my body that I want to work on in terms of prevention, not treatment, but just working on those areas to help make my life happy and healthier and longer. And hopefully if they don't respond to that, Patricia, you might want to consider your relationship with that doctor.
Kimberly, I